This was it. Super Typhoon Haiyan moving over the Philippines this weekend, bringing with it winds close to 200 miles per hour, moving over the islands, churning at that speed for up to 48 hours straight. Tonight, a humanitarian crisis of enormous scope playing out. This is what the typhoon looked like from space, stretching 300 miles wide. By some estimates, the death toll as many as 10,000, perhaps even more, and this is what's left behind. You can see the line of destruction right there, the trees still standing on the right, everything else in the path of the storm wiped away. Hundreds of thousands of families homeless this evening, making their way through what's left, so many simply looking for food for their children. This little girl in a grown-up's tattered t-shirt standing there on a table, so many simply stunned by the devastation around them. Tonight, international help is on the way, disaster aid being loaded onto planes, and here's the latest at this hour. At least 4 million people affected, and of course that horrific death toll. The super typhoon destroying 80% of everything in its path. ABC meteorologist Ginger Z standing by here with the science behind the strength of this storm. But first, our team reporting from the devastation zone, ABC's Gloria Riviera in the Philippines tonight.
From the air, parts of Tacloban underwater. The airport flattened, the roof demolished. Commercial flights to evacuate impossible.
We don't have homes. We need shelter, food, light.
We don't have food, we don't have everything, we don't have houses. Locals fled to the airport, desperate to escape, the military giving parents with the youngest victims priority.
I just want to show you right now, this is the airport departure lounge. You can see that roof ripped off, debris flooding, and lines of people who are coming here to the airport, no guarantee. They call them chancers, hoping for a chance to get out.
They say the surge rose high on the control tower, water and wind ripping the insides out of the terminal. The aftermath, eerily silent, the sound of devastation. Cars tangled in downed power lines. Residents, young and old, pulling together what they can. Some have the grim job of bringing the bodies of victims to this church. Those with injuries treated as best they can be. With reports of increasing looting, some officers back but feeling helpless.
All of the evacuation centers have either collapsed or have sustained huge amount of damage. So really people are really living in open areas. People also really need food and water. Everyone started to loot in order to get any kind of food.
C-130 aircraft are landing and bringing emergency supplies. Typhoon Haiyan wreaked havoc across this province, the damage severe, the challenge now getting to those who need help the most. But for so many here, still searching for loved ones, it seems there is only heartache. Gloria Riviera, ABC News, Tacloban.
All right, thanks to Gloria tonight. Chancers looking for a chance. Those people there at the airport, or what's left of it. Ginger with us now, and you've been tracking all of this. So many in this part of the world know hurricanes, and a lot of people have said this is what, the equivalent of a Category 5?
And a strong one. You know, a hurricane is a typhoon, is a cyclone. They're just called different things in different parts of the world. But David, I first want to show you this picture because it really gives you an idea of these huge, heavy boats pushed ashore and what was happening in this strong storm. Either way, we don't have concrete numbers scientifically yet. We know at least 170 mile per hour sustained winds, up to 195 at landfall, and that's what makes this a potentially historic #1 on the planet storm, because if it ends up being 195, it'll be that. And here's what was astounding to me, this buzzsaw of a storm going through the central Philippines, 48 hours as that strength, at least Category 5. That's wild to think of, because we have them and they die out right away. The storm surge, at least 15 to 19 feet. I've seen some reports up to 25. That would fill a second-story building.